method. So this is an important concept in Java, and also it is an important concept in developing the framework also. Okay. So Java method is a block of code, okay, which only runs when it is called. We can pass data known as a parameter into a method. Okay. So why we need to use the method? So method is also called as a function. Okay, don't confuse like function and method. So both are same. So method, it's like it's used to reuse the code, to define the code and use it many times. Okay, we'll see like how we will reuse the code and all. We will see the examples. Okay. Next is to create a method and all. It's there. Okay, so this is the syntax. So you will have one class. So in the class, you'll have a method. That is here, the method is a static method. So it's prefixed with static. Okay, and method name is my method. So my method is the name of the method. Static means the method belongs to the main class, not an object of the main class. Okay, this you have to remember. What is static and non-static? Okay, that anyways we'll see the example. What is static? Difference between static and non-static. Void means doesn't return any value. Okay. So this is the syntax of a method. Okay, now we'll see one program for method. Okay. So create a new class. So class name is method demo. Okay. Okay. So class name is method demo. So what is the syntax? Syntax is public static void method name. Okay. So my method name is M1. Okay. So my method name is M1. So my M1 method is of type static, right? So it's of type static. So I'll print like system.out.println in static method. Okay. So I'm in static method. So that's why I'm printing the output as in static method. Now I'll create a non-static method. So create non-static method public, remove the static keyword, and this is a non-static, right? This will be my M2 method. Okay, and this time I will say in non-static method. Okay. So what is the difference between static and non-static? So for static method, okay, so we'll see what is the difference. Okay, so there is a slight understanding you need to get it here. So for static methods, what it says is static method belongs to the main class and not an object main class. Okay, what it means is like, so to call these methods, right, what we need to do, it is class name. So class name is method, copy it, method demo, class name. Then you have to give the object name. Object name is obj, object name equals to new class name again. Now I'll call the both the methods, that is static and non-static. I will try to call, that is obj dot m1. Okay. That is my static method. Next method obj dot non-static method, that is m2. Okay. Now if you see, right, here Java, it's throwing me an error. Okay, and it's saying change the static method. Okay, because static method, we don't need to create the object for static method. You can see, okay, you can see m1 is the static method. Okay, and m2 is the non-static method. Okay, so you don't need to create object. So instead of that, what you need to do, you need to give the class name. So just change it as a class name. So you can just click on this one, change access to static. So that is, you have to access the static methods using class name, that is class name dot method name. Okay, so but to access the non-static method, what is the syntax? You have to create one object and you have to access through the object. Okay, now if I run this, it will give me the output as in static method, in non-static method. Okay, clear, right? What is a static method and what is non-static method? Yes, no.
Yes, Bhargav.
Okay, so static method means it's preceded with keyword static. Non-static means we are not doing anything like static and all. So method, create a method, we have to give the public static void, that method name you have to give. Here my method name is M1, here my method name is M2. And to call the static method that can be accessed from class name, that is method demo.m1. To access the non-static method, you have to create an object and object.method. Okay, now we'll see what is the advantage or the reusability concept of methods. Okay, we have seen, right? Methods are used to perform certain actions and they are used to reuse the code and define the code and use it many times. Okay, we'll see that. So now what I will do, I will create one new class. Okay, create a new class and create that as method demo2. Okay, create a new class. Now I've created a new class. Okay, now what I can do, I can access this method demo methods. Okay, that is M1 and M2. I can access in this particular class. Okay, method2 demo.java. I can access the method demo.java methods. Okay, so how I can do that? Same thing. So it's first I have to go to the particular class name, that is method demo, that is class name, object equals to new class. Okay. Now, so call the method M1. So M1 is a static method. So to access the static method, what is the syntax? It is class name dot method name. So class name method demo dot M1. Okay. Next, now I have to access the method M2. To access the M2, right? M2 is a non-static. So I have to create an object. So that will be object dot M2. Okay, now what is the difference we have done? So previously, now this M1 and M2 are there in a different class, that is method demo, but we are trying to access it in a different class. Now we are in method demo2.java. Okay, this is the reusability. Okay, now what you can do, if I run this one, right? Method demo2.java, if I run this one, still it give me the output in static method, in non-static method. Now if I wanted to like call it multiple times, so I don't need to write those methods and all. They can just copy this one and call this again, call this n number of times. Okay, and run it. Now you'll see the same output. Yeah, n number of times, like static, non-static, in static method, in non-static method. So this is called as the reusability concept. Okay, this is the reusability in methods. Okay. So what we have done, we have created one class and we have created the static and non-static variables, and we have created another class and we are trying to access those class methods and all. Got it, right?
Bhargav, I have one doubt. Like we can directly use methods only, right? Why do we have to create objects?
Which one? This line number 9?
Huh?
Yeah, line number
No,
9.
in real time.
Yeah, so
Can
this is the advantage, right? So see here, if you see, right, what is line number 5 to line number 15, right? M1 and M2. Okay, but so how many lines of code is there?
one line.
10 lines, right? 5 to
Okay.
15, 10 lines. But I can just write 2 lines of code and I can get the same output. Got my point?
Yes, yes. No, my question was
Yeah.
like we can direct. use like static and non-static methods.
Okay.
So what will be the difference? I did not understand. Like you created one object, right, with that OBJ.
Yeah.
Um, can't we use like the normal M1 only instead of creating an object for that?
Here you're saying, say line number 7.
Yeah, no, basically, can you tell the difference between that static and non-static methods? Because I understood what you have told, like we have to create an object for non-static methods, right?
Yeah.
So in general, in what scenarios will we using this?
Yeah, so the next example we'll try to understand like in real-time scenarios, right, or in real-time projects, how we will do that in Selenium. We'll do an example. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Next, we'll do that like how to access or launch the application and how to this reusability. We'll try to do it in Selenium. Okay, then you'll understand better. So this one, static and non-static means to access the static, it's class name dot method name. Non-static means object name dot method name. Okay, that is the syntax. But why we are doing this one is like to reduce our effort or to reduce the code, right? I can call this n number of time instead of writing the same code again and again. So here, just I've written one line of code, okay. But if you go to the real-time project, right, or real-time application, right, there will be some 10 to 15 lines of code in one function. There can be 10 to 15 lines of code. So in that case, I don't need to write it again. Okay, I don't need to write the entire function again. Instead of writing it, I'll just call that method name here, and I will try to access the method. Got it, right? So here there might be 10 lines of code in one function, right? Just now to understand, I've written only one line of code. But in real-time projects, you will have some 50 lines of code where you have to don't need to copy paste again. So you can just call the method name. So that is the advantage here. Okay. We'll see that in Selenium how we will access. But this one is clear, right? Static and non-static methods and how to access it from a different class.
Yes,
Uh,
boss.
it- yeah. So we'll move on to the next one. That is how to access this in real time. Okay? Now, if you open any browser and let's say go to LinkedIn, okay. Okay, if you go to LinkedIn, right? So there are two buttons. Okay, you can see, right? Join now is there, and you have one more button. This is sign in button. Okay. So both these buttons are having the same XPath. Okay, if you try to do an inspect, you will find the same XPath. I think. If you do an inspect, if this is there in anchor class, anchor tag, that is sign in. Do the same thing for join now. So yeah, this is also it's there in anchor tag, and it's there in join now. So it clearly states that these two can be used in one function. Okay, these two can be used in one function. And if I write one function, I can access these two objects. Okay, we'll see how we can access by writing one function. We'll write one function and we'll try to access these both these buttons. Okay, now for that, what I'll do, I'll create one new class. Let's say class name is, what is the class name? Class name is method demo 3. Okay. Method demo 3. So what is my first step? My first step is I have to launch the browser, right? So my method name will be public static void login. Okay. Login method. So this will be my first function, that is login function. And what in the login, what I have to do? I have to call the web driver, right? That is web driver equals to new Chrome driver. So, what is the next step? You have to open the URL, that is driver.get. Open the URL. What is the URL? URL is linkedin.com. Okay, linkedin.com. Now this is my first method. Now let's say my second method. Okay, my second method will be public void. What is the next step? So I have to click on the sign in, right? I have to click on the sign in. So if I click on sign in, it has to go to this page. So my second method name would be instead of sign in, so if I click on join now, it has to go on to the join now. So I'll say button. Okay, my second method will be button, public void button. Okay, so here what I have to do, I have to driver dot. Okay, so it's not giving me the driver object. Okay, since you can see the driver, I have defined it in one method, so it's not able to access it in another method. Then what you need to do, you need to define the driver object. Okay, define the driver object outside of the class, outside of the method, that is public static void, public static void web driver. Okay, web driver. Okay, public static void web driver, right? Driver. Okay, define that. This will be web driver, right? Okay, so now I've defined it globally so that every method can access the driver object. Okay, now we can just remove this one, web driver, and just say driver equals to new Chrome driver, right? Import the Chrome driver that is there in this one. Now you can access the driver object. Driver dot find element by dot xpath. Okay, by dot xpath, and give the xpath. What is the xpath? Xpath of that sign in. Okay, give the xpath of the sign in, that is anchor tag of text equals to sign in. Okay, it's highlighting. Okay, copy the xpath. So what I need to do, I need to click, right? So dot click. Okay, so one method is done. My method name is two methods are done. One method is login method. The second method is button. Okay, now what you can do, you can access these two methods inside the same class as we have done earlier, right? In the same class you can do it, or you can create a new method. Create a new method, that is method demo4. Okay, or you can create a new method, new class, and you can access it inside another class also. But make sure that both the files, right, or both the files are there in the same package. Okay, it should be in same package, then only you will be able to access it. Now I have to access method demo3. Okay, object equals to new method demo3. Okay, so I have to access first one, right? What is the first one I have to access? Login, right? So it will be method, that is class name, dot login method. Okay, next is the What is the next one? Button, right? I have to access the button. That is object dot log. Object dot, what is the method name? Button, right? Object dot button. Okay, now what it will do, it will go to the method demo3 class. It will go to method demo3 class. Next, what is the next step? Line number 8. It will go to the method demo3 class dot login. Login method. It will go to login method. It will open the Chrome driver. It will open and it will open this URL linkedin.com. Okay. It will open the linkedin.com and then it will maximize it. Then what is the method? It will come out of the method. Then it will go to this method, object.button method. So in the button method, it will click on the sign in button. Okay. Now we will run this and check whether it's opening the LinkedIn site and it's clicking on the sign in button. Run this one. Okay. So this is the way we will access the methods in Selenium. Okay. Got it, right? So as of now, I have done only one method. Okay. As of now, what I've done, I've clicked only one method and I'm trying to access those methods, login method and button. So now what if, so what is the use of reusability? Now you can ask me like, what is the use of reusability here? Okay, now the reusability is like, so you can see, so now what we will do, we will try to parameterize. Okay, so what I will do, I will comment this one. For time being, I'll comment and I'll copy paste it. We'll parameterize. Okay, to parameterize, what we need to do, we will take one string, take string str and parameterize this one. Okay, parameterize this one. To parameterize, what you need to do, you need to use double quotes and you need to give two plus symbols. Okay, two plus symbols. Inside that, you need to give the variable name. Variable name is str. Okay, so I have parameterized the this value. Okay, the sign in, right? I have parameterized. So what I have to do, I will be passing this in my method demo4.java. I will pass it. Okay, that is object dot button and the string value I have to specify it here, right? So my string value here, it will be, what will be my string value? Sign in, right? Okay, this will be my string value. Okay, sign in, correct only, right? SIIGI is small, right? Okay, sign in. Now what I've done, I have parameterized that method and I'm trying to access the button method and I've given the value as sign in here. Now if I run this one now, still it has to work. Okay, now if I run this one, it will open LinkedIn, it will maximize and it will click on sign in. Okay, so this is the parameterization concept. Okay, this is the parameterization concept. So now what we will do, instead of sign in, I'll give join now. Okay, so instead of sign in, I'll give join now. Okay, so okay, instead of sign in, now what here I will give join now. J is capital or small? J capital, N is small. So I've given join now. Okay, this time what it has to do, it has to click on the join now button. Okay, so what I've done, I'm not creating a new method or I'm not writing the new XPath. I'm using the existing method only. I'm using the existing XPath only, but I'm just changing the value. Okay, now I'll run this one. It will open LinkedIn, maximize, and it will click on join now. Okay. So now you understood the concept, right? What is the parameterization concept? What is the method? What is the reusability of method? Okay. This is called parameterization. Clear, right? Yes, no.
Bhargav,
Yeah.
yeah, can we use normal methods instead of creating object and send parameters?
No, yeah, you can do that. For example, see here, what is the thing? I have used an object because it's a non-static, right? That's why I've
Mm.
used an object.
So otherwise we can use like login method, like static method with the parameter.
Yeah, anything you
Oh,
can use, static or non-static you can use. But to use it, I mean, prerequisite is you have to give the parameters. So here I've given one parameter, that is string str. Okay.
mm.
There will be instances in real-time projects, right? There will be two objects. So in that case, what you need to give, string str1 and str2, like that you have to give.
Okay.
Okay. And here the expert for this one might be str1, and the other one it might be str2. That which going forward will go, right? In the framework we'll see that example with multiple parameters, but right now we are using only one parameter, that is str, and we are parameterizing that str, and we are accessing. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
So you understood the reusability, right? So I have not written the the x path. So I've simply have used a parameterization concept, and I'm using the same x path, and I'm just changing the value of it. So instead of so I can just comment that one. Sign in. Okay, so similarly you can try it. You try to implement. So this is the way you do the page object model. Okay, so just now we have done like simple thing. So next going forward we will see the page object model framework, where we'll create multiple methods. So right now we have created two methods. Same thing, you can create multiple n number of methods. Like you can create 15 methods, 20 methods, and